This is the Variety Show 2024. This video is going to be a book review of a book called Heaven. And the name of the book is right here. I got the book. It's just called Heaven. That's it. And it's by a guy from Oregon named Dr. Randy Alcorn. He's a PhD in theology. And he just goes by interpretation of the Bible, the New Jerusalem, the eternal New Jerusalem, the new earth, the new heaven. What is it going to be? And he went on I've seen him interviewed on Dr. John Ankerberg, who had a great show out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. He went in and did the program. I've seen his interview with Dr. where he talked about everything's going to be made new. And it's an excellent book. I would highly recommend Heaven by Randy Alcorn, where he talks about we'll be living on a new earth, a new solar system, and a holy city, and everything will be new, like Niagara Falls, a new Niagara Falls. Himalayan mountains will be new, Rocky Mountains new. There'll be no oceans, but there'll be freshwater lakes, and he goes into detail about how he interprets it'll be on this new earth. Will you eat? Will you have food? He goes over, the new bodies on the new earth, everything new bodies on a new earth. A new Jerusalem will be, you can fit billions of people in it, and it says it'll be 1,500, like a Rubik's Cube, shaped like a Rubik's Cube, 1,500 miles in every direction, which means it'll be like a high-rise building and many levels of the holy city itself, and then out of the holy city, you can explore everything outside of the new city, and it'll be just very well written, where he's just interpreting. He's not prophetic. He's not giving dates or saying he knows. He's just interpreting from a theology expert what the scriptures tell us about what it's going to be. And there's not that many books about heaven. And he's really, I think, done a really good job on this. So it's my favorite, maybe the best, one of the best books. Now, the first half of the book, almost halfway through, he goes through a lot of scripture and stuff. You got to be patient and read the book all the way to the end. And the second half of the book, where he goes into more detail about heaven itself, and he gets to the more interesting stuff. So the first half, he goes through history and things. You really got to wait till you get to the second half of the book. That's when it's going to get more exciting. So you got to be patient till you get to the later part of the book. Don't put the book down. Read the whole thing. So I would recommend Heaven by Dr. Alcorn. And in addition to that book about the afterlife, about heaven, I have a small collection of heaven books. I have this one is by Billy Graham, which is just a simple book about heaven. Then I got this one, My Time in Heaven, which is someone that said that they went into the afterlife and had an experience. I have this one by Kat Kerr, who's very controversial, calls herself a prophet, says that she's been taken to heaven. This lady from Florida, that she's on social media, on YouTube. You can see a lot of what she said. Make up your own mind if you believe Kat Kerr. Jesse Duplantis has this one, Heaven, Close Encounters of God. Now, this one is very interesting, by Jesse Duplantis, who's a minister. And he was in Arkansas many years ago and says that he was literally taken to heaven. He met some of the biblical figures. He met the Apostle Paul. He met different people in heaven and people that he saw in heaven. By Jesse Duplantis. That's a really interesting book about. He was in a car accident. I think that was the one. Oh, this one, I think, 90 Minutes in Heaven by Don Piper. Another. I think this is the one where he was in a car accident. This book by Don Piper. This is also very interesting about he had an experience in the afterlife after almost dying in a car crash. So I have a number of books. The best one is the one that I reviewed, which I recommend if you're looking for something to really tell you what is heaven, because how can you get excited about heaven unless you know what it is? And there are books that help explain scripture on that subject. I mean, what could be more interesting than that? So this has been the Variety Show 2024.